Hi class. Now I will go over some of the questions on production and costs and explain while I am looking at these questions. Take a look at question number 3. Here they're asking us to find the accounting profit and economic profit. So the accounting profit is equal to total revenue minus explicit cost of production. The economic profit is equal to that total revenue minus the explicit cost and minus the implicit cost of production. So do not forget the implicit cost of production. The total revenue is equal to the price times output, which in this example is equal to 100,000. From that, I take off the explicit cost, which is $5 million a year. So this one is 6 zeros, means this is a 5 million. From that, subtract 5 million. So my accounting profit here is $0. Now, the economic profit is again that total revenue, which is 50 times 100,000. From that, I take off the explicit cost of production, which is 5 million, as well as the implicit cost of production, which is equal to 500,000. So I'm left with an economic profit of negative 500,000. So my economic loss is 500,000. So this is going to be the answer choice for question number 3. Now I'm going to go to the next one, and we need our calculators to do this question. The question is asking us with all the following information, we have the answer from one of this following. We have the entrepreneur's potential earning as a salaried worker is equal to 50,000. Annual lease on a building is 22,000. This is the total revenue. I'm going to say this is the total revenue, which is equal to price times quantity. Then we have payments to worker, utilities, value of entrepreneur's talent in the next best entrepreneurial activity. Then the foregone interest on personal funds used to finance this business. So to solve problems like this, I want you to identify the explicit cost and the implicit cost of production, because just to write this again, economic profit, this is equal to the total revenue. From that we subtract the explicit cost of production as well as the implicit cost of production. So in this example, the total revenue is equal to 380,000. Now, what is my explicit cost of production? And what is my implicit cost of production? Annual lease on the building. This is an example of explicit cost of production. Payments to worker. This is also explicit cost of production. Utilities is also an example of explicit cost of production. So I'm going to take up these numbers here. Explicit cost of production is 22,000, of course, the dollar signs. Plus, with that, I have this 120,000, and I have this 8,000. And then from here, I will take off the implicit cost of production, which is this one is potential earnings. That means entrepreneur could have had these earnings as a salaried worker. That means if he or she was not working for creamy crisp Krispy Kreme donut company. So this is implicit. This is also implicit, and this is also implicit. I'm gonna take off 50,000. Also take off 80,000 and 6,000. Now, when I do the calculation here, I found out my result is equal to $94,000. So my answer to this question is Krispy Kreme is indeed earning an economic profit. Okay. Now, question number 5. We have some missing information, and they're asking us to find the marginal product of the fourth worker. So how do you define marginal product? The marginal product is defined as the change in, sorry, this sign was, delta was for change. The change in total product over the change in the number of, I'm just going to write it down, all of it, number of workers. So this will be, I need these numbers. So here the marginal product will be equal to 30 minus 25 over 4 minus 3. So this is equal to 5. Okay. Alrighty. So I was wondering about something. If you can fill up the rest of this blanks, where did this, how do you get this 8 from? This 8 is equal to 8 minus 0 over 1 minus 0. Then what's gonna be this number? If I say this is equal to x, so this 10 is equal to change in total product x minus 8. That means x is equal to 18. So this number is equal to 18. Now we found out this one here. What will be this number? So this number is equal to 25 minus 18, which is equal to 7. Now, if this one is equal to y, I would say this number 3 is equal to y minus 30. That means y is equal to 33. So this one's 33. And if we say this number is z, z is equal to 34 minus 33. this one is equal to 1. Okay. Alrighty. Then the next question is asking, in the diagram, total product will be maximum at what point? Okay, so the total product will be maximum at the point at which marginal product is equal to 0. So on the horizontal axis, we are measuring the units of labor. On the vertical axis, we have the marginal product and the average product. And as you can see here, the marginal product increases, reaches a maximum point, and then it goes down. And the average product is cutting the marginal product when average product is at its maximum point. So the total product will be maximum at Q3 units of labor. Okay. Now take a look at the next question. Question number 7, they're asking what is the marginal cost of producing the 6th unit of output. The definition of marginal cost, I will abbreviate as MC. This is equal to the change in total cost over the change in output. So I will need this numbers and this numbers. This one is equal to, so this is equal to 69 minus 61 over 6 minus 5. So this one's equal to $8. This is the answer to this question. Now it's telling me answer the question on the basis of the following cost data. Profit maximizing output for this farm. I really don't know, because to find the profit maximizing output, I need the information on price, quantity, and cost. So over here, I have the price given. I do not have the price given, my bad. So without the information on price, I can't really find the profit maximizing output. So I'll say this one is cannot be determined from the information given. Now this question, I'm on question number 12. They're asking answer the question on the basis of the following output data. All amounts of non-labor resources are fixed. Already they're asking diminishing marginal returns become evident with the addition of, okay, so units of output. So this one is the total product. I can abbreviate this as TP. Now I need to find out the marginal product here, which is equal to change in total product over change in the number of workers. So this, I really like this notation here. This one stands for change. Over here for the first unit of, for the first worker, marginal product will be 40 minus 0 over 1 minus 0. Because the denominator is 1, I'm going to avoid writing the denominator. Next number is 90 minus 40, which is 50. After that, we have 126 minus 90. So this is going to be 10, 11, 12. This one is equal to 36. The next one is equal to 150. From that, we take off 126. So this one will be equal to 24. So the next number is equal to 165 minus 50. This one will be 15. And the next one is 180 minus 165. So 180 minus that one is also gonna be equal to 15. Okay. And the question was asking you diminishing marginal returns becomes evident with the addition of which worker? My answer will be the third worker, because as you can see here, marginal product was increasing here. After that, it kept going down. So marginal product was increasing, reaching a maximum point at 50, and it kept started going down from the addition of this third worker. So my answer to this question is A, the third worker. Take a look at question number 13. So for question number 13, we already did this question. They're asking us to find the value of total profit. So Krispy Kreme's total revenue exceeds its total cost by $94,000. So if you look at the beginning of this lecture, we went over this problem before. I'll go take a look at question number 14, where they're asking us to find the total economic cost. So the total economic cost is my explicit cost as well as the implicit cost of production. So the numbers given here is going to be everything except the annual revenue from operations. Again, in this one, I will ask you to point out the implicit and explicit cost of production. This one is implicit entrepreneur's potential earnings as a salaried worker. Implicit means what this person could have earned if that person was working somewhere else. Then this one is also part of implicit value of entrepreneur's talent in the next best entrepreneurial activity. And then also foregone interest. This becomes part of implicit cost of production. Now, explicit cost is something which we can see. That means the payments that we make on different items, annual lease on building, payments to workers, utilities. These are examples of explicit cost of production. Just add up explicit and implicit cost of production here, the numbers, and you will get 286,000 as your result. Okay. Now let me go down here to question number 18. They're asking the constant returns to scale. This one starts, let me see. So the answer to this question is the constant returns to scale. Let me just go and explain a bunch of things. So I have output on the horizontal axis and it says unit costs on the vertical axis. So we are looking at the long run average total cost of production. So my output keeps increasing as we go along the horizontal axis. Then the cost keeps increasing along the vertical axis. Now over here we have three concepts. One is economies of scale. This means when the output increases, the long run average total cost of production goes down. Then we have output increases, long run average total cost of production. This one stays the same. Then the other concept, so this is the first one, which is economies of scale. This one is called constant returns to scale, where the long run average total cost is the same. Number 3, we are going to see the output increases, long run average total cost of production. This one goes up, like this part. This part is called the diseconomies of scale. So this part here, where the long run average total cost is going down, this one I have economies of scale. This part I will have constant returns to scale, and after that I have these economies of scale. So the answer to this question, constant returns to scale, occurs over Q1, Q3 range of output. Already, then the next question is asking you these economies of scale. This one basically begins at Q3, where the long run average total cost is increasing. Begins at Q3. Question number 20. Long run, we have lots of choices, and all costs are variable costs, unlike the short run. In the short run, only the cost of labor is variable, everything else is fixed. Alrighty, now I want to go and take a look at question number 23. Okay, answer the following question on the basis of the accompanying table that shows average total cost. Alright, these are the average total cost numbers, and the total fixed cost is equal to $10. They are asking us to find the marginal cost of the fourth unit of output. Alright, so the marginal cost is defined as the change in total cost over the change in output level. So the next question is, how do you find out the total cost of production? Right. So the average total cost. So the average total cost is total cost over output. I will strongly recommend taking a look at the formulas. Alrighty. Now I can definitely cross multiply here. I can say that total cost is equal to average total cost times output. I don't really need to do all these calculations. I just need to do it for this one and this one. So the total cost for the third unit of output is 29 times 3. Let me do the calculation here. I found this as equal to 87. Definitely you can check these numbers. Then the next one is for the fourth unit of output. I found this number as equal to 124. Now take a look at this formula here, change in total cost over change in output level. So the answer to this question will be equal to 124 minus 87 over 4 minus 3 equal to 37. We really did not use this information on total fixed cost. Just be very careful with these questions because the marginal cost, the way, let me see if I can highlight this here. This one is change in total cost over the change in output level and not and definitely not the change in average total cost. So use these formulas here and definitely use the formula sheet. Show on a lock you are using the formula sheet. As long as I know you are just using the formula sheet only, you'd be good. Okay. Now take a look at question number 24. Sunshine Corporation finds its total cost of 40 is 40. This one is $40 when it produces no output. Perfect. Then the total variable cost changes with output level. As you can see here, the total variable cost of production, this one is increasing as output increases. What is this $40? This is the total fixed cost, which is equal to $40, and you have to incur this total fixed cost even when your output is equal to 0. Now the next thing they're asking here is what is the total cost of producing 3 units of output? The total cost is equal to total fixed cost or plus total variable cost. The total cost for producing 3 units of output is total fixed cost, which is 40, plus total variable cost, which is equal to 65. Your answer is 105. Let me ask you something. What is the total cost instead of producing 3 units of output? Let this be 5 units of output. This one is definitely total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Total fixed cost is going to stay the same, and what changes is the variable cost. This $110 I'm reading off from this table. Just remember here the total fixed cost is going to stay the same no matter how much output you are producing. or not remember, just try to understand. Okay. So the next question is asking us to find out minimum efficient scale starts at what point. So minimum efficient having constant returns to scale. The answer to this question is going to be equal to B, because as you can see here, we start having constant returns to scale from this point, which is Q1. Constant returns to scale means the output is stable. Average total cost, I'll say the long run average total cost is staying the same no matter if output is increasing or not. Now take a look at question number 27 here. Looks like a lot of math, but we do not have any math in this question, or we just need to know a simple trick here. The question is asking if the farm closed down in the short run and produced 0 units of output, its total cost would be how much? So, what is the definition of total fixed cost? That means this is the cost we have to incur even if the output is equal to 0. Now, let's look at the question here. We are in the short run producing 0 units of output. All right, if we produce 0 units of output, the total variable cost is gonna be equal to $0. Okay, but the total fixed cost is something which we need to find out from this table. Take a look at these numbers only. It says when output is 1, average fixed cost is $50. So I can write down the formula of average fixed cost. This is equal to total fixed cost times out over output. The output is denoted, this is denoted as Q. So the average fixed cost is total fixed cost divided by output. So the total fixed cost is equal to average fixed cost times output. So for the first unit of output, it will be the 1. This is equal to 50. You can pick out any number here. Now, if I want to find out the total fixed cost for the 5th unit of output, this one will be 10 times 5, which is equal to 50. Right, let me use a different color to find out the answer to this question. Already the total fixed cost is equal to $50 no matter how much output is produced. So the total cost in this question is total variable cost plus total fixed cost. Remember, we are producing 0 units of output. What we found out, what I wrote down here is total variable cost is equal to 0. This one 0, and total fixed cost is equal to $50. So your answer is $50 for this question. I like this question, it's pretty cool. All right, take a look at question number 28. It says the marginal cost of the fifth unit of output is how much? All right, the marginal cost for the fifth unit of output, that's what we got to find out here. So I need this one. So if it is asking for fifth, I'm going to need the total cost for the fifth unit of the total cost for the fourth unit of output. Then the marginal cost for the fifth unit of output is going to be equal to the total cost for the fifth minus the total cost for the fourth. From that, I'm going to subtract, I'm going to divide 5 minus 4. That means the change in output level. Okay, so we have the information on average fixed cost and average variable cost. So there are two steps to this problem. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Now I have to find out the average total cost first. So definitely I'm going to need my calculator here. So this one is going to be average total cost is equal to average fixed cost plus 10 plus 68. This one is 78. Do not really confuse between average fixed and fixed. Take a look at the formula really carefully. All right, now I want to find out the average total cost for the, all right, how much is this one here? Fourth unit of output, which is 12.5 plus 65, 75. So this one is equal to 77.5. These are the average total cost. Over here, I'm going to use the formula for total cost here. Let me use a different pen and give you the formula here. The total cost is equal to average total cost times output. So for the fifth unit, it's going to be 78 times 5. For the fourth unit, it's going to be 77.5 times 4. Okay, let me take these numbers up so that it becomes, I have some space to write. So 77, the numbers I'm going to use, I'm just going to circle these numbers. 77.5 times 4. This one is 310. Then I have 78, which is equal to 390. Now it becomes crystal clear what's the answer to this question. All right, let me pull it down really gently so that I just stay on the same question. This one will be the total cost for the fifth unit I found out is 390. For the fourth unit is equal to 310 over the change in output, which is 5 minus 4. This is equal to 1. The answer to this question will be 80. Okay. This is the answer to this question. Right, question 29. Economies and diseconomies of scale. Explain why the long run average total cost is U-shaped. Like this kind of questions, I'll just encourage you to practice as much as possible. So I have some cost figures. In figure B, curve 3 is what? Uh, this one is gonna be the marginal cost. Curve 4 is gonna be the average variable cost. Curve this one. Okay, this one I just found out. Marginal cost and average variable cost. This one is the marginal product. This one is the average product. So question 30, the answer is B here. Take a look at this graph from the PowerPoint and ask questions if you have any. Question 31, right now we are a pro in solving these questions. They're asking us to find the average total cost of 5 units of output. Just can you highlight like what we need? The average total cost of the fifth unit of output. What's that gonna be? All right, so this one will be equal to average total cost is average fixed cost plus 68. This is 78. We love this question. Time to move to the next one here. All right, question 32, one of the graph questions. We have to identify which curve is representing which costs. We have output on the horizontal axis, costs on the vertical axis. Which one is curve 1? This one is gonna be the total fixed cost. And this one stays the same. Let this be equal to $40. No matter how much output is produced, the total fixed cost, this one is same for all units of output. Then curve number 2, this one is the total variable cost. If nothing is produced, the total variable cost is going to be equal to 0, and this keeps increasing. As you can see here, total variable cost keeps increasing as then curve number 3 is total cost, which is equal to total variable cost plus total fixed cost. When the output is equal to 0, the total cost will be equal to 40. So it's starting from the level of the total fixed cost. All right, curves 1, 2, and 3 represent the total fixed cost, total variable cost, and the total cost respectively. Question number 33. Let me pull. Yes, now we can see all the questions. So here I have labor on the horizontal axis, production on the vertical axis. So I want you to notice something. When we are looking at this productivity curves, we have labor on the horizontal axis and we have all those marginal product and average products on the vertical axis. But when we are looking at the cost curves, we have cost on the vertical axis and we have output on the horizontal axis. Okay, the question is asking the total output of this farm will cease to uh, expand at what level? Okay, looks like the marginal product is equal to 0. And when marginal product is 0 here, total product is gonna be at its maximum point. Then after Q3, marginal product becomes negative. As you can see here, this line, okay, anything below this line is a negative number. So marginal product becomes negative whenever the total output, I just wrote this as total product, which we can also abbreviate as keeps going down, or when this one decreases. So after Q3, the total product decreases. The hint is this number. Okay, question number, let's see here, question number 34 here. We still have this number, this question here is telling us the marginal cost will be minimum at what level. So I want you to notice something. We do not have the cost curves here, but I want you to know that productivity curves and cost curves are mirror images of one another. Whenever marginal product is at its maximum point, when this is at its max point, marginal cost will be at its lowest point. So here the marginal product is at its highest point at Q1, and so marginal cost will be at its lowest point at Q1 workers. Okay. Now the last question here, question number 35, they're asking us the average total cost of producing 3 units of output. This is the simplest question. Average total cost is total cost over output, and I have denoted output as equal to Q. So the average total cost for the third unit of output is 48 over, this is going to be equal to 48 over 3. This one's $16. Okay. Alrighty, just to let you know, this is the explanation of how to do these problems. I also have the solutions to these problems. Alright, that's it for now. If you like this video, you can hit a like and subscribe.